Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about internships. The title is Intern with a question mark. I've gotten lots of questions about interning, so this will be the first video on that subject, and I expect to make quite a number of them. So, intern, STEM internships. The question is always, should I intern? I get a lot of questions from students as well as parents um, talking about whether or not they should intern, or when I bring up the subject, it seems like people don't have that on their radar. So the answer to the question is, should I intern? Absolutely yes. You need to have internships, and we'll get more into the details. So when should I intern? Do you need to wait until you're a senior or a junior to get an internship? And I would say absolutely not. You need to intern now. If you are a high school student going into university in a STEM field, you may be able to actually get an internship before your freshman year. Quite often, companies will start hiring people after their freshman year. So if you're a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, whatever level you are in school, intern now. Plan on it. Start looking. We will get into more details in future videos. So why should you intern? So school helps you understand the theory, but internships really help you understand what it's like to work. You'll do lots of calculations in school, you'll do group projects, you'll do all of those things. But to really understand what it's like to work in a STEM environment, you need to be there. This is not the same as working an odd job that you could work at any time in your life. This is a different environment. It's a STEM environment. There's a lot of different environments, but to understand what it's like to work is important. So what's in it for me now? All right, and then we'll get into what's in it for me later. But to begin with, you get to experience a STEM work environment. Understanding what that's like is very important. Is it what you expected? You went into this field thinking that you were going to have a certain kind of career. So is that work environment something you expected? Do you like office work, field work, or a combination? As I've talked about in previous videos, STEM work is varied. It is very varied. And having an internship that's 100% office work, maybe 100% field work, or a combination of the two will allow you to see what you really like. How about the commute? Working from home, driving an hour. There's a lot of variation in commutes, but understanding the location of where you work, the location of where you live, is something that you can discover in an internship without a lot of commitment, which we'll mention in a few minutes. But you can try new things without a long-term commitment. So an internship, typically, companies will hire for a summer internship, although there are a lot of programs that do varying times of the year. But when you sign up for an internship, typically there's no long-term commitment. You're typically not a full-time employee that they expect to be there for years. This is your opportunity to try new things, try new locations, try new industries, all of that, without having to sign up for something that's going to expect you to be there for the long haul. Now you can discover what you love. Like I said, we all went into STEM because we had something that sparked us, or maybe it seemed like a really good, stable career, and that's what we needed. But there's going to be something that you love in there. So testing out what you think your passion is, or testing out something new, will help you discover those things. And then explore new areas of the country. So a lot of times we go to schools that are maybe an in-state school because it's cheaper, we don't want to have debt, or maybe we've just lived in one area of the country, one city, one state. An internship gives you an opportunity to go try different areas of the country, and sometimes abroad, although that's a little bit more challenging. But to explore new areas, decide if you want to move somewhere else. Maybe you have always dreamed of moving to Seattle and then you go do an internship there and discover you don't like the weather, you don't like the commute, you don't like whatever it is about it. But discovering that as an intern is much better than moving your whole life there after graduation and discovering it later. So one thing about exploring new areas of the country, especially if you are living at home when you're in university, is that the expense piece of it may play in. I will talk a little bit about that in the future, but it is something to consider, but definitely not a deciding factor if you can afford it. Okay, so what's in it for me later? This is the future. What are you going to get out of having an internship for your future? So you should have a good idea of what you want in a permanent job, or maybe what you absolutely don't want. A lot of times you'll find yourself in an internship when you realize this is not what I wanted to do. And so that's great, because when you go look for a permanent job, you can avoid those things that you didn't like, or you'll know in future interviews to ask questions about things that you didn't like about your internship. But make sure that you do a reflection at the end of your internship to make sure you understand what it is you liked, what you didn't like for the future. Okay, it looks much better on your resume than an unrelated job. I'm not going to mention specific unrelated jobs, but a job that you can get without the education that you're getting um, is fine, and it's great to make money and to put yourself through school or to support your family or whatever reason you have for having that job. But having a job on your resume that is related to your field is an excellent way to start in that field. If you're an employer looking for new grads and they've got 3 really solid summer internships where they've been working in companies, whether or not they're related to what the employer does, it just shows that that student has the maturity to handle working and has a much better understanding of what it is to work than those that have been doing odd jobs. All right, employers use it as a pipeline for recruiting new grads. This is, I think, the number one reason why employers hire interns and why they have these kind of programs. So if you think about it, if I'm an employer and I have lots of interns every summer, I keep an eye on who's graduating either in December or the next summer. So I know that they're coming up to new grads. If I've got a certain number of openings for new grads, I'm probably going to first fill that with the people that have been working with me, or people that I know from a previous summer who worked with me, or a previous fall or spring semester whenever they worked with me. So I'm going to fill it with people I know, because just like you as an intern are testing out employers when you're working for them and understanding what you like, employers are getting to know you and to understand if you are the type of person that they want working with them. So they're going to fill with the people they know through internships and other work opportunities, and then they're going to go out and try to find new people. So any relationship you can have with that employer ahead of time is great, and you can get yourself in that pipeline. Okay, build your professional network, and this is directly related to being in that pipeline. If you're moving around to different employers, your different summers, so that you can experience a diverse set of industries and everything else, which we'll talk about in a future video, you need to build your professional network. You need to keep in contact with those people, send them notes, let them know how you're doing, occasionally ask how they're doing. If you were working on a project over your internship, send them a note and ask how it's going, or if it's developed, or if they've used what you produced, or those types of things. You can make it a personal relationship or a purely professional relationship, depending on how you worked with them when you were there. But while you're in your internship, you need to be growing your professional network. And then after your internship, maintain that network so that you can stay in that pipeline for recruiting new grads, regardless of whether or not you continue to work with the company. Okay, having an internship will give you a broader understanding of your field. Working in different areas that all require the degree that you're in or are related to your degree will help you understand how broad of a field there is for people with your degree. And when you, in the future, want to go do something different or find yourself in a situation where you need to go look at something new, you can understand what those options are beyond the job that you have had. And then for those who want to go on to graduate study, having an internship can really help you discover what you want to study in the future. If you've had an internship in an industry or with a focus area that might spark your interest, that will give you or possibly give you something to look at in the future for a specialty as a master's or even a PhD. As you go up in your more advanced degrees, you're going to get more and more specialized. And so to take on those specialties without really understanding what the industry is can be fine, but also it is often better if you understand what the industry is before you pick those specialties. Okay, so this is the last of this video. It's really just a conclusion about why you want to intern. So you went to STEM school to have a great career, and an internship is the first step in that career journey. Consider it your first STEM job, but do it now before you graduate if you can. I'm saying all of this stuff assuming that there are internships available, but we'll get into in other videos about how to find an internship. If you're having trouble with that, go to your school's career office and they should be able to help you, but absolutely pursue an internship. You need to do it now. If you think that you can wait until a month before the summer begins, rethink it and start now. And if you have questions about how you can do that and resumes and finding a job and all of that, please post a question. We'll have a discussion and I can make videos specifically to help you. So thanks for joining today, and thanks for being in the discussion about whether or not interning is a good idea. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel with notifications so that you'll get notifications of the upcoming videos. I hope to be doing a video every week. We'll see how that goes in between everything else I've got going on, but if you have specific subjects that you'd like me to talk about, please put that in the comments and I can make some videos specifically to help your challenges and get you where you need to go. Have a great day.